Hi, this is my mom vlog number 2. Second vlog, yeah. And I could either talk about being a mom, or I could talk about writing, or I could talk about books. And I'm going to talk about books. Actually, a series. I'm going to talk about a series today. A series that I don't like. To put bluntly, it takes a lot for me to not like a book. When I start a book, I really feel like I need to finish it. And there have only been maybe a handful of books that I've been like, yeah, nope, don't like you. And other times it's just like, man, I gotta find out how it ends. And only one book I've put down because the writing was just awful. The story was really good, but anyway, I'm getting off track. Now, this series is a nonfiction series. And I don't read a lot of those, unless it's sort of about murders. I have a morbid fascination with serial killers, and I also absolutely love reading biographies on like the Beatles or Marilyn Monroe. Is actually very fascinating. But I want to talk about what to expect. And you know what you can expect from the What to Expect books? Total effing bullcrap. Oh my god. Do you have any idea how many panic attacks these books have given me? Thinking that my baby is like way behind? Any idea? Oh my god, it is ridiculous. The first one, the What to Expect When You're Expecting, it did come in handy, I'm not going to lie, when I had the gestational diabetes, which sucked, but it did help a lot. And it was kind of cool knowing how big your baby was, that it was like the size of an avocado or grapefruit. That was kind of cool. But had they talked about the different types of contractions there were, I would have known I was in labor for the first 10 hours of my labor. 10 hours. I was having contractions in my thighs. They didn't once gloss over that in any class I took, let alone the most famous baby book there is, What to Expect When You're Expecting. It's like the Bible of pregnancy, and it left out a major part for me. Honestly, I spent 10 hours on the couch in the living room watching The Office going, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, and telling my husband to stay upstairs because he had to work in the morning. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, I hobbled up a spiral staircase we have that goes up into the loft and practically crawled into the room and said, okay, we need to go to the hospital. 6 hours later, I had a baby. Had What to Expect When You're Expecting, or the class that we went to talked about having contractions in your legs, I would have gone hours earlier. So thanks for that. The What to Expect in the first year, that was kind of cool knowing what's going on in the baby's brain. Though it would have been nice to learn about the 4-month regression, the 6-month regression, the 8-month regression. That would have been kind of nice. And the whole feeding thing. There's a lot of like, your baby should be having this exact amount of food. And then this exact amount of vegetables. And did they realize that babies can be picky just like people? Like, it was so, I felt awful when I realized, oh my god, he's supposed to be having this many grains and this many vegetables and somehow still have room for this many bottles, and then at 12 months he's not supposed to be having a bottle anymore at all. And it's like, what the crap? This isn't I felt awful. I felt like I was a bad mom, like I was failing completely, that I should have read this book ages ago. So I went on to this mom page I'm on for moms on Vancouver Island who had babies in 2016, whether first or second or third, and asked like, okay, how did you get your baby to only eat this amount of stuff in the once they were 12 months? And they were all like, where did you get this information? That's total bullcrap. They still need a bottle. Like, talking about? And I felt so much better. And then I stumbled across this gem, the toddler version of it, and once again spiraled into a panic attack. My baby, Harry, total gem. But when he was 15 months, chapter 3, 15 months, by the end of this month, which is the 15-month begins when a child is 14 months old and ends when he or she is 15 months old. At the end of this month, your toddler should be able to walk well, and I was reading this by the time he was at the beginning of the 16-month mark, and he hadn't walked yet. He can crawl like crazy. He could stand for a long amount of time, but he wasn't walking, so felt like crap there. Bend over and pick up an object. That he could do, and say at least one word. He could say mama and dada. And that's it. Then we'll probably be able to use 2 words by 14 and a half months. No. Drink from a cup, sippy cup, not a whole cup. Scribble. I'd never even given him a marker because I knew it was going to go into his mouth. Point to a desired object. He can't point. He has pointed once. And that was really rude, actually. And then, may be able to point to one body part when asked. Use a spoon or fork, but not exclusively. Spoon, he can. Really not exclusively. And may even be able to feed a doll. When I read this, I was like, holy crap, I have officially failed as a mom. And then I had to remind myself, holy crap, remember the labor incident? And then how you're supposed to continue feeding your baby a bottle? Huh. That's interesting, but still, I felt terrible, and I needed to talk to someone about this, so honestly, feeling just horrible about myself. Literally, I had been crying. I posted on the mom wall saying, this is awful. His communication is 0. He can do like 2 out of this list of things. I felt awful. And then every single mom was just so amazing, and they were all saying, okay, no, you're not failing. My kid can't do that. Was he supposed to be able to know colors or shapes? I just felt awful. Like, should he be doing advanced algebra yet? I'm not looking forward to when he does math. I can't math. His dad can. I can't. Anyway, if you're reading any of these books, please take these things with a grain of salt, or at least laugh at them, because only a handful of babies can actually do all that stuff. I mean, Harry more succeeds in the social aspect and being able to fine motor skills, I think it's called, like turning pages and stuff. He's really great at that, but he's definitely behind when it comes to communication. And that's okay. Every baby is different, and you have to remind yourself of that. I still have to remind myself of that. I mean, seriously, these books are just full of shit. They're so bad. They're just there to make you feel bad about yourself, it almost seems. If your baby's not doing this, it literally says, I shouldn't have dropped it yet. It says, if your toddler has not reached these milestones, consult a doctor or nurse practitioner. It says, if your baby isn't walking, bending over to pick up an object, or use at least one word, if your toddler has not reached these milestones, consult the doctor or nurse practitioner. That he needs to be evaluated because he couldn't walk. Overreaction? Much? I don't know. It could just be me. But still, I stopped reading this. Actually, I tried to give it to Russell's. There's a bookstore downtown where you can trade your books in and get credit. It's absolutely awesome. And they wouldn't take it. They wouldn't take it. They take every book. And they wouldn't take this. So yeah. That's my mom rant. And yeah. Mom rant, book rant, one of the 3 books I don't like. So, even though there are over 4 million copies sold, you can just have this one if you want it. I don't. It's literally I keep it on my toilet in the bathroom. Pretty symbolic, if you ask me. You know, if we run out of TP, there's always this. So, I hope everything is going steadily in the mom universe and that you guys are reading good books. If you do want a good book to read, I will always suggest Harry Potter. But there was a Netflix series that came out, 13 Reasons Why, it's everywhere, and it's honestly one of my favorite books. I read it when I was 16. I sat down and I read it in 3 hours. I didn't even go to the bathroom, even though I really had to. I was at a friend's house too. It was really rude, but I couldn't put it down. So I would definitely suggest that if you guys are looking for a good read. Or, shameless marketing time! This is my book. See? I'm so useless. This is my book. This is not a test. 1 year anniversary coming up in August. Yeah. Available in... I'm annoying myself. Look at the bottom comment part, and it'll have a list of all the places you can get it. It's actually been translated into Swedish recently. So that was kind of flattering. Anyway, shameless marketing. Don't read the... Okay, you can read the what to expect when you're expecting, but don't believe everything they say. Because it can really put you down. So, I hope all your babies are well. I hope all your books are awesome. And don't forget to love. Bye.